What's up, y'all, and welcome back. So recently I got back on my personal Instagram just because I felt like I needed to check on certain people. Like, you know, when God puts it on your heart, like, hey, I need to tap in with this person. I don't know if it's intuition, but you kind of just feel like something's going on. And I have created relationships based on a previous season with certain women that I still keep in contact with through Instagram mainly. And I'm like, let me log in and check in on my girls, because if I have multiple platforms, for some reason my mind doesn't allow me to manage both at the same time. It's either only Facebook or only Instagram. I will just alternate between the two. But a couple of days ago I got back on Instagram, and let me tell you, checking in on my girls, we really didn't have a lot of good news. And I feel like now more than ever, a lot of people are just really struggling. They're struggling with what's going on in the world, you know, the economy. People are losing their jobs, people's incomes are being cut, or they have no income at all. And it's so weird, because a lot of times we can feel alone during these times, but when you really branch out and speak to people, you will learn that a lot of people are going through the same experience as you. And I find or call this season like your losing season, because it feels like you're losing everything around you, losing the things that you worked hard for, and you are also losing your mind. And there are a lot of people that are in their losing season right now. And I spoke with one of the women that I just felt in my heart I need to check on. And she's coming up against what I would call a losing season. And I feel like in life is a series of different seasons, and it's not like there's a new season for every stage of your life. Like, no, it is like nature. It's in rotation, the same few seasons. You have your winning season, you have your still season, or, you know, the season where nothing is really happening. It's kind of slow, and it may be a good or bad thing depending on your perspective. And you have your losing season. And just like with regular seasons, they change, you know, they change. They're always in rotation. So no matter which one you're in, I find, or it brings me comfort to know, like, I'm not going to be here forever. And this video isn't to offer solutions. A lot of times you guys will find, you know, the topics that I bring up, I don't really have a lot of solutions for, because I don't know all the answers. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you I know all the answers. I'm not going to be like, here are 5 steps to take when you are in your losing season, because those 5 steps may not apply to you. And maybe I haven't figured out those 5 steps. You know, I'm just here to bring discussion around certain things that I am observing, certain things that I am experiencing, or certain things that are disrupting my peace. So, you know, of course we have a little bit of discussion around what is going on, and I don't like to offer false positivity or fake positivity. When something is going wrong, I tend to just want to leave space for that person to feel whatever they feel. I'm not going to tell them, you know, God's got you, it's going to turn around, da 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 da, even though I know that in my heart, because I am not that person experiencing that right now firsthand. And so, yeah, I think as humans, we tend to want to go into situations and make certain people feel better. Like, if they have a loss, I'm sorry for your loss, and, you know, I just da 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 da. Even when it comes to loss like that, like I said a couple videos back, my family has experienced a premature loss, and now that I have gone through a space where I have matured, especially spiritually, I know that the best thing I can do for these people is to leave space for them, Not to say, you know, I understand, not to say, even trying not to say, I'm so sorry. Just, I'm here for you if you need me. I'm holding space for you. And it's okay not to say anything at all. Just let that person know that your presence is known. Like, I'll just sit here with you. We don't even have to speak. I'm just going to sit here with you and hold space until you're ready to speak. And that's kind of how I deal with it through DMs as well. Like, asking questions. If you're ready to talk about it, let's talk about it. But I'm not going to feed you all these fake positive lines that I don't really feel. It's just second nature to say them, because it's not really helping, and it may hurt more than it helps. But I held space because I know what it feels like to be in a losing season. And I know a lot of you know what it feels like to be in a losing season. I would consider last year a losing season for me, and it was a losing season that I thought was going to be a winning season. And so I let the internet in on it. You know, I documented everything from me going to look at places, to me getting into this home, to every single repair that I've had, which was a lot. And doing that publicly, obviously it makes the losing season 10 times harder. But I am grateful that I did that, because I've documented what it looks like to win, and then to honestly feel like you're losing it all. And once again, I don't have a lot of solutions. I just have one thing that has truly helped me, because I feel like I'm really coming out of my losing season. I have done my time being, you know, knocked in the head, and I took some loss. I took some huge hits to my income, to my money. But now that I'm crawling and clawing my way out of my losing season back into my winning season, I'm feeling really, really good now. I am more productive than I was before. I'm feeling more hopeful, more optimistic. I will say that, sis, you have to fight like hell to keep your head. And that is one thing that I will say, I will offer as advice to anyone that's going through something. You got to go through the trenches and fight like hell to keep your head. Your perception or your perspective on things is literally the only thing you have control over right now. It is the only thing I say that you need to focus on, because it's truly the only thing that really matters. And I've said previously over and over again, like, as I am spiritually evolving, I have learned, or truly believe, like, your mind is the enemy. The way that it naturally behaves. We have so many thoughts in a day, and I read in studies, and maybe you have as well, like, the majority of those thoughts are negative. And it's like, why? You are in my mind. You're supposed to work for me. Like, you know, you're in my body. But it's kind of like the mind and the body are kind of separate in a way. They're not, but they are in a way. And you kind of have to see it like that. Like, this thing is going to try to tell me lies. This thing is going to try to drag me through the mud. This thing is trying to keep me safe, but it's not in the most positive, helpful way. And you've really got to fight not to let your mind take you under and make things worse, and make you feel bad about yourself, and make you feel like your situation, you can never get out of it. You'll never crawl out of that again. And, you know, things will never get better. You can't let your mind tell you lies about yourself. And whatever it is that you use to keep you grounded, this is the time where you need to tap in, sis. With me, it is God, and God is different to a lot of people. I feel like, you know, I'm respectful of everyone's relationship with the divine. Right? My relationship with God is not going to look like yours, and it shouldn't, and I don't want it to. I can't say I dictate how you have a relationship with, you know, the divine. And I would pray that people would give me the same respect as well. And I kind of see it like a relationship with your children. If you have multiple children, your relationship is going to be different for each child. And your aunt's relationship, you and your aunt's relationship is different from you and your father's relationship, and things like that. It's just, we're all on different walks of life, and it's just not going to look the same. But whatever it is, you know, I'm going on a little rant there. Ground yourself. For me, it has been resting. And it's been resting when I didn't want to rest. It has been, I literally had to see my bed as a prison, as a sunken place. And I literally sunk in that thing from day in and day out. It was so hard for me to get out of bed. And it was literally becoming to a point where I felt like my mindset was causing my body to be fatigued. But literally my bed became my prison. It was my sunken place. And even though I felt like I was functioning and I was fine, I didn't realize, and you won't realize until you're out of it, how bad of a sunken place that you were in. And literally the only way through your losing season is through it. You have to go through it. You have to feel those emotions. You have to get uncomfortable. Sometimes it may consist of you laying in bed feeling fatigued day in and day out. You have no ambition. You have no motivation. You're looking at yourself in the mirror and you have no idea who you are because you just lost the identity that you once had. You don't have those things anymore. You don't have that job anymore. You don't have that business anymore. You don't have that person anymore. And that's what you use to define yourself. And now you're having to look in the mirror and rebuild yourself and find the person that you always were, that you still are, but that you kind of lost. And it's a journey. Your losing season is a fight, and it's a fight that no one else can get in the ring and help you with. It's just you in there. There's no one there to tag team you. Like you are in it. Once you are in it, you are in it, sis. Oh my God, it is a journey. It can be humiliating. Your ego takes a hit depending on what you've lost. You know, your ego takes a hit. And once again, mine was public. One of mine was public. And I remember posting a video sharing that I went into debt again. And of course, anything with money, especially if you go back into debt, it's going to ruffle feathers around your financial situation. And I don't think they're trying to be malicious. Even though the delivery is rude, I don't think people try to be malicious. I just think people are disappointed in you and they don't have another way to express their disappointment outside of rudeness and hoping that like kicks you in the butt and makes you get better, kind of like tough love. That's the way that I see it. But I remember some of those comments and assumptions because I don't think I really stated what it was, but this goes into the point of like, you cannot give up, especially if you have people that are relying on you. You have people that are depending on you. Like I have my kids depending on me. Literally, it's just me that's financially taking care of them. And I'm taking care of other people as well. And that's something that I left off the internet. Like it's not just my kids. I'm taking care of other people as well. Like I have other people that are relying on me, and I'm in my losing season and I can't get out of bed and I'm kicking myself in the butt because it's like I got these people that I got to take care of. And sometimes, you know, if I'm talking to God, I'm like, why would you give me such a heavy crown? Like I'm a single mother. I have 2 kids. You know what I'm up against. Why would you give me such a heavy crown to carry? And it's kind of like I hear a voice saying, why not you? Why are you not capable? Why would I not give you this heavy crown to carry? Obviously, if I've given you an assignment, I've given you the study guide, you can do it. And so I will say it is a messy process. It's a very messy process. And once again, your ego is going to be in the way. It's embarrassing. And my journey has been somewhat embarrassing as well, but it's also been very, very eye-opening. And I think what adds weight to it is that you knowing other people see you in your losing season. And for some reason, starting over is embarrassing for us. It keeps us from doing things that we want to do. Like you could be starting a whole new page, maybe for your business, and you're starting at 0, you're starting at 1, and you don't want people to see you in those starting stages. You kind of just want to like pop out when you got certain things. And I think that also comes from this need for us to like work in silence, work in silence, work in silence. And then once you got it, then you pop out. That can be a negative side to that because it kind of in a way makes you think that, oh, I can't pop out until I have it all together, until I have these things, until I reach these certain goals that I was working on in silence. And that can literally do you a disservice. I'm rebuilding, I'm rebranding, I'm starting over fresh, and literally, right hand of God, I'm the happiest I have ever been. And I thank God for my losing season, because I found myself in my losing season. I lost certain things, but I had to lose certain things to find myself. And I feel like if I didn't detach from those things, if God didn't literally strip them away from me, I would have still been clinging to those things. And I would not be able to reach or to kind of strip myself and get myself out of this shell unless that had happened. And so I just see it kind of like as a rebirth, a rebrand, a rebirth, and my mind has literally been renewed. And the renewal of your mind is something that you have to do every single day. You have to wake up and intentionally renew your mind every single day, because it's literally like, when we go to sleep, it resets. It wants to go back to default mode. But you've got to, once again, fight like hell to shift your perspective. Do not let the enemy, aka your mind, have power and authority over you, because you have the power and authority to reject those negative thoughts that are going to try to be fed to you every single day. And that is what I mean by renewing your mind every single day. Rebuke those thoughts every single day, and it's a battle every single day. And will you have to wake up and do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day? Yes, that is how I see, renewing your mind. It's not just a one and done, girl. It's every day for the rest of your life, and you have to learn how to master it. Otherwise, it's just going to consume you, and then you're literally going to be a prisoner of your own mind, and nobody wants to be that. But I hope I have given you space in your losing season to just feel, to immerse yourself in your emotions. It's totally okay. I immerse myself in every single emotion, and I felt like I was never going to make it out of there. The cliche, I thought I was never going to make it, but girl, you literally feel like you're not going to make it. Like, how is this going to happen? How are things going to get better if things keep getting worse? And I just keep getting hit back to back to back. But it does, because the season is going to change. Losing, you go into your winning, your abundant season, and then your kind of still stagnant season, and then it's going to rotate again. But I feel like the lessons that you learn in each losing season, if you actually take the time to have discernment and learn those things, immerse yourself into it, learn them, and figure out ways to keep your head during those times, like your next losing season isn't going to be prayerfully as devastating. But I'm holding space for you. Once again, if you need to vent or anything, put it in the comments. If you have any advice, put it in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next video.